When Christian conservative Sam Brownback left the Senate to become governor of his home state of Kansas, I figured I wouldn't hear his name much again, but it turns out he still found a way to make news. I heard his name recently when he attended Rick Perry's prayer rally in Texas. In case you don't know, a prayer rally is an event where people get together, sing songs with their hands in the air, and wish really hard for something to happen, instead of actually doing something to make things happen. Rick was hoping to bring some rain to Texas, among other things, and Sam showed up to help him wish those rain clouds into existence. Of course, it did nothing, and now Perry is doing so poorly in the Republican race for the nomination that he'll need a true miracle to win. Which means, of course, that he can't win. Just last week, one of Brownback's staffers saw a tweet by a high school senior in Kansas, Emma Sullivan, the gist of which was that Brownback blows, which he clearly does, as you'll soon see. His director of communications, jones-sontag, who really should know better, expressed her displeasure to organizers of an event Emma had attended, and they, in turn, freaked out and called Emma's principal. The principal called Emma into his office and demanded she write an apology letter to Governor Brownback after berating her for about an hour. She decided not to write the letter, for which I give her a huge amount of credit. It would be easy for a student to cave into that kind of pressure, and I definitely admire her for it. So Emma is smart enough to know her governor blows, emotionally strong enough to know not to bow to pressure to curtail her speech, and kinda cute too. Good thing she's 18, so saying she's cute is totally okay and can't be considered creepy at all. I'll put her picture on my wall right next to Miley Cyrus. So why does Sam Brownback blow? Well, there are a lot of reasons, and none of them have anything to do with the number of times he's counted the licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Earlier this year, Brownback signed a bill prohibiting insurance companies in Kansas from covering abortions unless it was to save the life of the mother. I'm trying to figure out where his small government values come in here, but I guess it's not meddling in people's lives if you're meddling in the name of Jesus. So apparently if a woman is raped, insurance isn't allowed to cover it, and then you have to hold a bake sale, I guess, to get the money. Actually, that's a good sound conservative business solution, isn't it? Probably just one of the many things that I'll bet Herman Cain could get behind. I know, terrible joke, and he might not have sexually harassed anyone. Maybe he's just really bad at foreplay. As you can imagine from what you've heard so far, religion is a big part of Sam Brownback's life. So big, in fact, that he's belonged to 3 different sects of Christianity. Now, for most politicians, this might be considered flip-flopping, but in Christian conservative circles, it just makes him well-traveled. He's gone from mainline Protestant to evangelical Protestant to now Catholic. Apparently, he just switches to whichever sect blows up his skirt at that particular moment. If we could put him in a room with Mitt Romney for a couple hours, I bet he'd be adding Mormon underwear to his shopping list by the end of the meeting, and then he'd be on his 4th sect. I think that's the Christian equivalent of hitting for the cycle in baseball. Aside from his views on abortion, his God gives him the answers to lots of other questions. He's also a staunch creationist and one of those teach the controversy types, like failing presidential candidate Rick Santorum, who recently said that the scientific community is monopolizing the science teachings in the classroom. Yeah, the experts in the field of science are the only ones that get their findings taught in schools. Imagine that, Rick. As soon as Rick Santorum or Sam Brownback start at college, I'm going to apply to be a French professor there. I only know a few words in French, but hey, experts have dominated that field for far too long. Besides, they still owe us from World War II, right? I have the right to make my uneducated opinions heard on the topic of French. Freedom fries, s'il vous plaît? So yeah, kudos to you, Emma, and shame on you, Sam, for hiring clueless people whose feelings are so easily hurt in a career that requires a thick skin. If any of you in the Crocoduck Army want to email this video to Sam Brownback's office, by all means feel free. Although I'm not going to make any further snide comments about how he blows, I'm hoping that maybe if they see this video, his communications director will overreact again. Maybe she'll come to my house and give me the kind of tongue lashing I deserve.